Welcome to the show, Brock Page here, and may you mutilate your bookies right in front of their families this week. And speaking of week 14 is going to be awesome. Let's get right into it. Thursday night game, New Orleans at the Atlanta Falcons, 8:25 Eastern start this Thursday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Atlanta open 2, now 1.5, total open 55.5, now 55. Currently, the Falcons are the moneyline favorites to win this one outright. And at the moment, 65% of the money's on the Saints. So be on the lookout for a possible pick'em situation at your local markets sometime soon. Now, if you like the Saints, the trends certainly support your decision. New Orleans against the spread is 8-4 overall, 4-2 when traveling, 5-1 versus teams with a winning record. Even better, the Saints are 5-1 covering versus teams giving up less than 21 points a game. But if you think the Saints are a stone-cold lock to get it done in this one, just keep in mind they failed to cover 2 of their last 3. They're also 1-3 ATS as the dog, 0-2 covering in their games at the current posted total, and 1-2 as the official road underdog. They've got their hands full on the road this week with an Atlanta team who's been catching fire as of late, covering 3 of their last 4. Atlanta's also 3-2 against the spread in their games at the current posted total. In addition to all that, the Falcons have covered 50% of their games in the friendly confines, 50% as the official home favorite, and 50% against teams over 500. All in all, we've got some significant and plentiful covers amongst both of these playoff caliber teams. Now, when it comes to the scoring, we've seen a good amount of it amongst both of these organizations. Atlanta games are 2-1 to the overs in their last 3. They scored 34 points per game in each one of those overs. Meanwhile, on the other side, very similar story, as Saints games went 2-1 to the overs in their last 3 themselves. They're also averaging 33 points of scoring per contest in their last 4. Having said all that, though, we saw a tough defensive effort between Atlanta and Minnesota yesterday, a clash of 2 playoff caliber ball clubs. I think the quality of play will be somewhat elevated between both of these organizations this Thursday night. Although the numbers say to take the over, I think I'm going to have to agree with the public bettors on this one when it comes to the under. Can't say I'm confident on who's going to win this one outright, but I will definitely make a play on the total in this one. All told, give me the under 55 points in this one. Next game, Minnesota at Carolina, another good one. We got ourselves a 1 o'clock Eastern start this Sunday in the Queen City. The Vikings opened this one up as the 1-point favorites and have taken all the early public action. Right now, the Vikings are minus 2.5 with the total moving downward to 40.5 points. Currently, the Vikings are the moneyline favorites to win this one outright, and at the moment, just 38% of the action's on the Panthers to cover. So look for them to be catching another half a point or so very soon. And if you're leaning toward the Panthers, you're going to want to catch as many points as you can. These guys have covered just 2 of 5 matchups at Bank of America Stadium this year. They've also struggled to cover against really good defenses as well. Carolina's failed to cover 3 of 4 games when facing teams allowing less than 21 points per contest. It's not all bad for Carolina bettors, though. The Panthers are a very impressive 4-1 against the spread in their last 5, and an impressive 4-1 covering when catching points. Even better, the Panthers against the spread are 3-0 in games at the current total and 7-5 in their games overall for the year. They're going up against a Minnesota team who's been equally as impressive, if not maybe just a little bit more. The Vikings against the spread are 9-3 overall, 4-2 when traveling, 7-2 when laying the points. Minnesota against the number is also 5-2 at the current total, 3-1 as the official road favorite, 5-2 covering against winning teams, and 4-1 versus teams giving up less than 21 points a game. The Vikes have also won their last 8, and they've amassed solid covers in all of those in the process. Now, all in all, we've seen bettors on both sides in this one. They can certainly be justified as both teams are dominating the spread equally in several categories. But when it comes to the total here, we've seen a good amount of overs amongst both of these ball clubs. Minnesota games went 4-2 to the overs in their last 6. They averaged a healthy 34 points a game in their 3 most recent covers. Meanwhile, very similar story on the other side, as Panther games went 3-0 to the overs in their last 3 themselves. The Panthers averaged 34 points a game in those 3 overs as well. All told, the case for significant scoring can certainly be made. I think the public bettors may have gotten this one wrong. All told, I'm going to buy the hook and take Minnesota -2 with the over 40.5 in this one. Next game, Green Bay at Cleveland. Actually a very significant game here, folks. If the Pack can manage to get the W in this one with their backup QB, they'll be right in the driver's seat for a run at the wild card in the NFC. And if Hundley can lead them to a victory this week over the Brownies, we should most likely see the return of Aaron Rodgers in Week 15. If your favorite team's in the NFC, you do not want to see that. Semantics aside, though, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the numbers. Green Bay opened 4, now 4.5. Total open 41, now 40.5. Currently, the Packers are the moneyline favorites to win this one straight up. And at the moment, the Browns are taking just 27% of the public action. So look for them to close out probably around 5.5 to 6 points if this trend continues. And if you like the Browns in this one, I really can't say you're all that crazy. These guys garnered themselves a real nice cover yesterday over the likes of the Chargers. They also have garnered themselves some marquee covers over the Titans and Steelers this year. And out of their 5 home games they played so far on the year, they've actually successfully covered the spread in 2 of them. I mean, I get it. It's not all that impressive, but for the Browns, it's actually quite good. Now, let's make no mistake about it. Cleveland's going up against a Packers squad who, even with their backup, is a lot better against the spread and in real life. The Packers against the spread are 3-2 when traveling, 3-2 when laying the points, and 2-1 in their games at the current posted total. Green Bay has also done a solid job against their weaker opponents, going 3-1 against the spread versus teams with a sub-400 win percentage. Most recently, though, the Pack has lost 2 of their previous 3 and have covered just 3 of their last 7. All that in mind, I guess I could certainly make the case for bettors on either side in this one. Now, scoring-wise, good amount of unders in these Cleveland games. The Browns have gone 2-1 to the unders in their last 3. They're also averaging just 11 points of scoring per contest in those 3 matchups. They're going up against a Green Bay squad who's averaged just 8 points a game in their last 2 unders themselves. All said and done, I think we're going to have a dogfight in this one, and I really think I'm leaning toward the public bettors on the total. And as a matter of fact, I think I'm just going to go ahead and make a play on all 3. All told, I'm going to buy the hook and take Cleveland +5, Green Bay outright as a small hedge, and the under 40.5 in this one. All right, I'm going to slide in my next and final game for the show. I'm talking about Oakland at Kansas City. Absolute dogfight in the AFC West. We got ourselves a 1 o'clock Eastern start, Arrowhead Stadium in this one. The Chiefs opened up the betting as the 4.5 point favorites and the total at 47.5. Since the markets opened this one up, though, no real surprises here as the Raiders took a lot of that early money, obviously due to KC's recent struggles. Right now, KC's laying just 3 against the spread, with the total moving slightly upward to an even 48 points. Currently, the Chiefs are still the moneyline favorites to win this one outright. And at the moment, we pretty much have 50-50 money on both sides currently. So look for that number to stay put at the time being. And if you're leaning toward Oakland in this one, you're going to want all the help you can get. Hopefully, for your sake, we'll start to see some more money come in on the Chiefs, maybe move that number a little bit for you. But the Raiders have been a fairly poor covering team so far in the year. Right now, the Raiders have covered just 4 of 12 matchups overall and just 1 of 6 on the road. Oakland's also covered just 2 of 5 as the underdog and failed to cover 3 of their last 4 as the official road underdog. Most recently, Oakland's struggles to cover have continued as this Raiders squad failed to cover 4 of their last 5. They're going up against a sputtering Kansas City squad who hasn't done too well against a number themselves. KC's lost their last 4 straight, failing to cover in each and every one of those games. The Chiefs have also failed to cover the spread in their first matchup with the Raiders earlier in the season. But if you're leaning heavily toward Oakland in this one, just keep in mind that the Chiefs have put up some decent numbers in a couple categories. The Chiefs against the spread are 3-2 at Arrowhead, 3-2 as the official home favorite, and 2-1 against teams around 500. Now, scoring-wise, we've seen a good amount of unders between both of these ball clubs. As a matter of fact, both of these teams are just 1-3 to the overs in their last 4. KC's averaging just 12 points of scoring per contest in those unders. I think this number on the total opened a bit high. If I had to make a play on this one, I'd most likely lean to the under. All said and done, though, this is once again not one of my stronger games. I'm real hesitant on making a play on the spread total or an outright winner. I made the case for KC bettors, so take it with a grain of salt. All told, though, I'm going to shy away from this one and take no action. Should be a great game, though. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. That is the first installment of NFL Week 14 picks. I'm going to have a 1 o'clock slate video coming out, as usual, and obviously a late games video coming out, which is the 4 o'clock games, the Sunday night primetime, and obviously Monday Night Football. So be on the lookout for those videos as they come out during the week. We also have a college football Final Four video coming out here, might be coming out today or tomorrow. So be on the lookout for those. A lot of great content. If you like trends, you like numbers, certainly check those out. I can't predict the future, and actually nobody likes anybody who can say they can predict the future. That's just a prime recipe for getting ridiculed. But certainly some good information, so take it with a grain of salt and be on the lookout for those videos. All right, that is going to do it for me, but before I get out of here, I have to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. A wise man once said, good ain't free, and free ain't good. And for some reason you decide to use the free information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. Most importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page Productions, I'm Brock Page, and have yourself a positive day.